Hi everybody, I'm back today with a video for Cut to You, and I'm going to start off with this little tutorial showing you how to heat emboss a cut file to get amazing results. So this cut file is from Cut to You. I will have all the cut files that I used to make all my cards in the description box below. I ended up making 4 cards during this crafting session. I didn't film all of them. You can see all the photographs of them on the Cut to You blog. This is an embossing powder from Emerald Creek. It's one of the gilding powders, and it's called Copper Scroll. So what I've done here is I keep 2 embossing pads on my desk. One of the embossing pads is what I call the gross embossing pad. And the other one I call the clean embossing pad. So the gross embossing pad gets used for cut files and shapes and things like that. And the clean embossing powder or embossing pad gets used for stamps. My favorite embossing ink and pad is from Altenew. I've tried so many, and you know what? You would think that those daubers would work, but they don't. They don't in a big way. I have tried multiple ones. I've tried the Ranger ones. I've tried Stamp Pendants. I've tried them both, a lot of them. But in the end, I get the best results when I have 2 Altenew ink pads, one that is the gross pad and one that is the clean pad. It's just how it works. So the trick for me to getting really great heat embossing onto a cut file is to put lots and lots of layers. So the embossing piece I'm going to show you now has 3 layers of embossing powder. So you saw me, it covered the entire cut file with the embossing ink. I dumped my embossing powder down on it, heated it up, did it again, let it cool a little bit, turned it over, pushed it down into the ink, went ahead, did it again, and now you're going to see me do it one more time. So I'm going to do this 3 times. This cut file, when it is finished, all of these cut files no longer look like cut files when they're done. They look metallic and they look beautiful. So embossing powder can be a bit tricky. You're not, I use lots of different kinds and different brands of embossing powder for different things. This is the first time I've used this embossing powder from Emerald Creek, and I absolutely loved it. It is smooth and it melts easy and it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you're looking for a really fun embossing powder to use onto cut files, I really do recommend Emerald Creek embossing powders because they're so fun. You get so many beautiful, like totally different fun results. This one, again, in case you're wondering, it's called Gilding Powder, and it is the Copper Scroll. If you're in Canada, you can order straight from their website because they're in Canada. But if you are in the US, I would check out Simon's Stamps. They keep them in stock a lot. I served on their design team last year. I loved my time on their design team, and I love, love, love their products. Look how beautiful that turned out. So now I am going to go ahead and go off camera. I'm going to grab the rest of the cut files because if I'm making cards, I'm making more than one card. So I have these 3 cut files, and I'm going to heat emboss them as well. So I'm going to create some slimline cards with my embossed cut files. Again, I only did one of these on video simply because I did basically the same thing for all of them. So I started by cutting a base down. I'm using all Fall Market from Cardabella products for this project. And I'm going to start by cutting down all of my scraps to make the base. Or not the base, but the panels for on top of the bases of my cards. Slimline cards are 3.5 by 8.5, and they work to be sent in a business size envelope, which is super fun. A lot of the bigger card companies are also selling really cute envelopes that you can get in this size as well. Here are how all of those gorgeous die cuts turned out. So I really want to use this plaid, but it's not going to pop up off of the the die cut shape isn't going to pop off enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut down another sheet of cardstock. All of these card bases I made myself using the Speckle Tone Starch White cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. My favorite cardstock right now. It just seems to go with everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a little piece that's going to go across the middle of my card. And then I'm going to ink everything up with Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo. This is the only one of the 4 cards that I made that I had to add the extra cardstock to. The rest of these die cuts popped really well off of the colors that I chose for the card panels. So now you can see how gorgeous these cut files are. Just beautiful. So the thanks so much, and that beautiful garland one, those are all one cut file collection that you can purchase. The books are from another cut file collection, which totally fine. But that one comes with a couple others. It's not, no, it doesn't. That's the book stack one. So that's on its own, but you can cut it big or small or whatever size you want. So I'm going to go through the die cuts and the stickers that I have with this fall market collection. I'm going to choose a couple of things to go ahead and embellish with. For me, I really enjoy being able to create cards using one kind of cool technique like this heat embossing. And then I also really enjoy making my cards different sizes. And I really love this trend right now of the slimline cards. I think that those are perfect for using your cut files on. And I just think they're really cool. They're just different and cool and fun. And I'm really glad that they're something that's like trending and fun in the card making industry. In case you don't know, while my channel is primarily 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11 scrapbook layouts, I am an avid card maker. I make lots of cards. And actually, because of just what I was inspired to create this week, a lot of my design team projects ended up being cards this week, just because that's what I was crafting. I was enjoying the process. This was the products I was enjoying using. So I just decided that I would add little tutorials to the front of the card making process videos so that my scrapbooking friends can still get some use and some interest out of the videos. And if you are also a card maker, let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious to know how many of my subscribers do double duty and also create cards, because I love to make cards. I think that they're just a super fun creative outlet when you don't really want to think about maybe a story, or you don't really want to think about trying to match up photos with a collection. You just want to play. And so I really enjoy cards for that purpose. Okay, so next I'm just adding some stamps, and then I'm going to add some enamel dots. And that's what I did for every one of the cards that I made. I started by heat embossing all 4 of these die cuts, and then once they were good and cooled off, I just went through my embellishments and my scraps from this fall market collection and just created and just enjoyed making some fall cards. I love the colors of fall. I think that they're beautiful, and I was just really inspired to kind of use some stuff that's in my craft room from last year, because trust me, I have more than enough fall stuff for this year. I think right now I have hanging out in my craft room like 3 or 4 new fall collections that I have coming up projects for. So it was nice to be able to pull from my stash, grab this collection from last year, and get more of it used up. It's one of my very favorite fall collections ever. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you'll give this a try. Embossing cut files is something that I really enjoy doing, and it can work for either a card, or it can also work for a scrapbook layout. If you want to get a closer look at the 3 cards that I made after I finished the first one, you can check them all out on the Cut To You blog, which will also be linked below. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.